but God did it. And it's on the show that you need to show the people that you're the one with the PC info. More reason why to call you the voice of the mic, KZK. So let me start the show by saying no introduction and that's very powerful. Good evening, beautiful people on the outside there. Welcome to the Football Fans Lounge show. You already know I need to call my name. Feel like that's the energy. I am the voice of the mic. The recent, you already know, and I can say nobody can hurt me. Not even Jude can barely harm me. I am KZK. Okay, let me start the show by saying, last I checked, the game of football unites the world and it's a game of fair play, love and discipline. Many also tag the game of football as a measurement of solidifying people in unity, and there is never a room for racism or violations. Now, you might be wondering why KZK is starting up the show like this. We know what happened during the course of the weekend. We know the Tottenham Hotspur scored 4-1 against Aston Villa. We know about the Dino Storm. We know about those in Valencia, and at this point, we really anticipating to see that more support. We know all of those things happen in the course of the week. Arsenal losing, City losing, Liverpool on top of the log. Marseille winning the game away from home. We know all of those stories, but I must tell you, let's talk about that one that is really out there at this point in time. My question is, where is African football headed? Where is the love for African football? Should Libya still be a footballing nation, or better still banned for life by FIFA? What is the Nigerian federal government doing about the Libya maltreatment and deportations of Nigerians in Libya? All of these we'll talk about, all wrapped up in one show. And let me start by saying there is a big revenge out there. And let me tell you about the campaign against Nigerians following the CAF ruling. According to reports, we learned that all Libyan TV channels, as of Sunday, were urging the government to arrest Nigerian workers who are working in Libya without legal papers. They have to pay $500 plus taxes, stating that the fine that Libya is accused of will be paid by Nigerian citizens who live in Libya. Now, moving on in the post that reads, saying, we have been subjected to injustice. We have no borders with Nigeria. What benefit are they to us? They are a burden on the Libyan people. They have to go back home. The post also was accompanied by a video of a Libyan TV presenter who said, anyone who is living in Libya and working without paying tax is eating haram. That haram means sinful money. Now, the government should make every effort, that's from the Libya side, to arrest all Nigerians who are working in Libya so that they can pay tax of $500 and regulate their stay in the country by obtaining residence permit. Now, another Libyan site reported that Libyan stations wanted the government to start arresting Nigerian workers, stating that those who don't have Libyan paper will have to pay fine of $500 for taxes. If you refuse deportation, no mercy. The Libyan government will pay the Nigerian government from their citizens' money. Now, as Sunday, we heard about the massive arrest. You can call it mass arrest. Now, according to a Nigerian living in Libya, his name is Emmanuel Adenaike. He said the arrest began on Sunday after the CAF statement was released in the country, and they were saying they can't accept it and that they are not the ones who will pay the money. Emmanuel said someone called him and said to him they have already begun arresting people in this area, and same thing was happening in Tripoli. Now, moving on, report states as well that in some places Nigerians were arrested on Sunday morning and afternoon. In Adenaike words about Emmanuel, he said Libyans don't hide their feelings, and they believe that what they are doing is the right thing. They are getting their revenge. Now, the president of the Nigerian community in Libya, Peter Omorogbe, also confirmed the arrest in a video shared by multiple Libya-based Nigerian blogs during the week. Omorogbe, who confirmed this while making an official report at the Libyan immigration office on Monday, said the arrest started on Sunday night in some areas in Tedora. They are arresting innocent Nigerian people. They don't care whether you have a passport or resident permit. They just don't care, which doesn't happen in other countries. Now, when asked to provide the background of the incident, he said, the football body is an association on its own, on which the CAF government isn't supposed to interfere with according to the laws. Now, moving on. According to Omorogbe, I'm talking about the community leader, he said, I received some videos showing that the arrest started last night in Tendora, and that's the area. They said the Libyan police have started arresting Nigerians, whether they have passport or not. Some of us are already afraid, calling everywhere to ask what to do. He said, sometimes as a community leader, we are helpless. Even the Nigerian embassy hands are sometimes tied. But international bodies need to intervene in this situation. Now, 2 days after Omorogbe's report, let me tell you, another Nigerian in the country, his name is Omo Oba, he said, the arrest has intensified. In a Facebook video posted on Wednesday, he said, my Arab master, who is a policeman, just called me now and told me not to go out to buy anything because they have started arresting Nigerians in Libya. I asked him, what about those with Libyan passports? But he said to me, they aren't considering passports. All they just do. If you're Nigerian, you'll be arrested. That's why I decided to let our people know, so they will know how far and the issue on ground. Now, according to Omoba, the Super Eagles had what they needed and returned. This is what he said. He said they got their money, whether they want or not. But see the problem that we've caused. See the problem that they've caused us now. The Nigerian team only faced hardship just one day. But what about Nigerians here who face the same treatment every day? And he said, my Arab master told me that until CAF overturn the fine, they won't stop arresting Nigerians. And he said, please, we appeal to the Nigerian government to come to our aid. Now, similarly, Libya, report posted a video on Thursday where a Nigerian pleaded with the Libyan police to stop discriminating arrests. He said, football has nothing to do with us. If you want to catch them when they come here. Leave us out of this. And to the Nigerian team, I don't know what you are thinking. Come here to play football in the Libya side. And he said, you don't have, I would not like to say the word, SENS, find the last one, please. And also, let's talk about this one. The Libyan Rights Institution wants security agents. But let me just keep this one aside. I have a man on the show with me. We'll talk this through before we go to the other phase and give you other spotting stories. Ike, you're here on the show, and I recall I can reiterate, and I said to you, the last time we learned that the Libya Football Federation were fined $50,000 for me, I said this money is small. This money is small, and I felt like the measurement was not enough. And we talked about what happens if this people are banned. You talked about banning for 2 years, but let me even get to this part. How has this gone beyond this? Is this no more a football talk? Is this now a political thing? How is our people in Libya, how are they faring? Deportations, maltreatment, people who did not even, they don't even have a connection with the football world, just like they're Nigerians. What's the fate of our people out there? But welcome anyways, good evening. Sometimes when you come on the show like this, you begin to wonder, where do you start from now? But I feel so bad, and I'm still feeling very bad.
Good evening, Kizzy. Good evening, Lagos. Kizzy, I'll start with, the issue of, the Nigerian contingent, the Nigerian citizens in Libya, and of course their welfare so far. The first place I would want to point my gone to is the federal government. What happened in 2019 in South Africa, when we were attacked in South Africa alongside other African countries in South Africa during the xenophobic incident. And then the question is, our people were maltreated, some people died, and some people lost their property. What did the federal government do? That's a big question, right?
Yeah.
Now, the reason I ask this question is because in the end, we're still going to go back to what will the federal government do this time.
Yeah.
Now, your people were actually, maltreated, killed, shop looted, properties destroyed. You didn't do anything. Now, it's just for them to be arrested, to pay $500, and then you're expecting more from them.
Do you know,
the same person.
Do you know something? I don't want to get to this part. I saw one of the posts, and one of the guys in Libya said a word that touched me, and he said, if Nigeria was a good place, if Nigeria was good enough and safe for us, what are we going to be doing
exactly
in Libya?
My point. Now,
suffering.
We have a lot of cases, reports of dehumanization and slave trade and all of that in Libya. You remember that before October 14, Libya was a country with two rulers.
Yeah.
Of course, before they elected their new prime minister in the person of Ali Zaidan.
Right.
Of course, October 14 to November 4th is not even up to a month.
Yeah.
So again, the big question is who or is he in total control of Libya? How much of an influence can he exert if he really wants to do something in Libya? Because at this point, it's not up to a month. So the other part will still be loyal to whoever it is that was running the show before.
Yeah.
Right. Again, the big question is, how are we going to even start the conversation? This incident happening in Libya is actually not new to football. I must say this, actually. Right. We've had incident like this prior to the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, where El Salvador and Honduras were actually paired to in a qualifying game. You recall the first leg ended 1-0, right, in favor of Honduras, and of course, second leg ended 3-0 in favor of El Salvador. But something interesting happened. Honduras, just like Nigeria and Libya case, they were complaining that, of course, before the first game, that El Salvador were complaining that before the first game in Honduras, that their hotel, their players were disturbed, people were attacked, people were brutalized. Right. And of course, there was retaliation in El Salvador, some couple of days later, which also the Hondurans were complaining. But after the game, they played, in a neutral venue after the first two games, which they both won apiece, and then neutral venue in Mexico where El Salvador actually won. Now, after this game, there was widespread attacks in Honduras. El Salvadorians have about 300,000 persons living in Honduras at the time. So they were attacked. So many things happened. And of course, Honduras, El Salvador had to send their military men down there. In fact, it was dubbed the football war because it's actually happened for about 4 days until the OAS, which is the Organization of American States, actually stepped in to actually quell the attacks and the violence. Now, in this case of Nigeria and Libya, of course, we've heard that Nigeria reached out to the Organization of African Committee, which is the African Union, rather, AU, to actually come in. But the big question is, now you're reaching out because it's about football now.
Yeah. It's now gone past football.
Yes, it's gone past football.
So I'm not trying to cut you now. Does CAF have a hand in this?
Okay, the only thing CAF would do is to come in as a witness to testify that, yes, we've got the report, this is what we have, this is what happened, and this is our ruling.
Yeah.
But after that, CAF really doesn't have anything to say. So it's now my government and your government. They have to sit down and talk. It begs the question. That's why we'll go back to the xenophobia incident in 2019.
Yeah.
What happened? What did the government do? Did the people who lost their property, the people who lost a family, did they get compensated? Were they compensated for what happened to them? These are the kind of questions you should be asking now, because the thing is, if something has happened before and there were serious incidents or serious measures taken, it will not happen again. Again, it goes back to the statement this guy made that if Nigeria was a good country. Because the thing is, it's obvious that most countries in Africa doesn't respect Nigeria again. They really do not respect us. That's why our citizens can be, our citizens can be treated anyhow or anywhere like a piece of garbage.
Okay, let's get on one part now. What do you think the government should do about this?
Now, it is simple, right? First, okay, let's say what they have to do.
Let me ask you this question. Whose responsibility is it to come into this?
At this point, it's the government, because
Nigerian government.
It's beyond football.
Okay.
Now, reach out to the authorities in Libya. It goes back to what I was saying before. The authorities in Libya barely have influence because it's a very new government, less than a month. Right. So let's assume that the government has the influence to actually stop the violence. Because if you remember, the report actually said, when you were actually saying what you were saying earlier on, that they started by saying they will only take out people with illegal documents. Now the big question is, the government can say, okay, the authorities were actually taking out people with legal government, not just Nigeria. So how do we now move from illegal document to virtually everybody, according to the other guy who was saying that his master told him not to step out?
Yeah, even with the legal paper, he had a work permit.
So these are the questions. Now, if we have the issue of people with illegal papers on one hand, and the government comes out and says, you know what, the only thing we know is that it is a law in Libya to take out people with illegal paper. We don't have anything to do with people without illegal paper. What do we say? It goes back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
They don't respect us anywhere in Africa.
Okay, we are not respected.
No, we are not respected.
Like Nigerians
at all, Nigerians are not respected.
Have we lost it?
A very long time ago now. Wow. Person we naked the chuka in our pocket.
Wait. Okay,
they don't respect us. See, this xenophobia issue, it's not 2019, it wasn't even the first time. But trust me, there are other countries whose national citizens were in South Africa, but they didn't touch them.
Right.
It's respect. You know that when you do this, it's a very, very big problem.
Okay, now someone said, I don't even know what the Super Eagles people were thinking. You got invited to come to Libya. So, we talked about it in some places where we got to say, why do we see games being played in Libya?
Yes,
we know how Libya has been, it's been in shambles.
Yes.
Sorry if that's the wrong word, but I'm just trying to say. Now, would it have been wrong for CAF to have placed that match, the return leg? Because someone wants to say that Ghana went to play in there against Sudan and came out normal and nothing happened. But why is Nigeria's case different? That is one. Now, on this very part, do you realize that these people already know that? See, I feel like, so sorry to say this, but let me sound it. I think the Northern African people, I don't even know. Let me not say Northern, let me not generalize. Let me talk about Libya. I think there's this big unforgiving spirit. These people too get mind. Okay, they want to do you something, they're not going to look back. So what do they want to do to their mind?
If you're a fan of African football and you've been following the CAF Champions League, you will know that anytime we are going there to play, it's always, we holding our hearts in our hands. Right?
No, but it's not supposed to be so.
It's not supposed to be so, but
football.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It goes back to the same thing. There's no respect in Africa. There's absolutely no respect.
Is there no respect in Africa generally or in football?
See, there's no respect for human lives in Africa.
Okay.
There's no respect in Africa amongst Africa. There is no respect in particular to Nigerians in Africa.
I'll ask you this question. Let me ask you. I'd like to ask you. Whose fault is that Nigerians are going to Libya?
Whose fault? I mean, the country is not taking care of its citizens. It's only proper for you to go outside to look for.
How did you know the country is not taking care of its citizens? How do you know? How can you say that?
Okay, so the very first, the basics, right?
Right.
Now, if the economy of a country has to move from a point 0 to a point 1, there has to be electricity. So many persons, for example, I'm a welder, or I'm a tailor,
right?
Or I work I work in an environment where I need steady power supply, and there's no power supply, and then I have to get fuel, which if I have to buy a liter of fuel, the value of my money, I'm not going to see it. So these are the things people consider before I just have to save up some money and go to a country where, with little effort and there's light, I can actually make more money.
Okay, let me hold you. Let's go off that one. Let's talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. The Obikin camp again is open for the African qualifiers against Cheetahs of Benin Republic, and that's in Abidjan. And then the invited players will fly straight to Abidjan for their respective bases. Now, according to the manager, Gosni Guavo, he'll be taking charge of that very game. And the Super Eagles are still on top. Let me ask you, while we prepare for this very one, we know his list is ready. They are good to go, but let me ask you, one, we cannot drop. We must make it to the Nations Cup. Yeah. But don't you advise, or would you advise, that's a question, that Iguavo lets or give some spaces to some young players who, some good players who have been off for a while. The likes of Aroko Dare wants to be in the national team. He's not been here. Akpokuma is pleading. Adara Bioyo also is just somewhere around the corner playing. I want to play for Nigeria. I'm pleading. Don't you think it's right for the manager to
it's a good one, especially for a player like Adara Bioyo, whose chance is very open, considering the fact that the Gentle Lion, talking about Simi Ajayi, is injured at this point. So Adara Bioyo is a perfect fit for that position. So we can actually make do of his experience and of course his skill set in that position. That's one. Yes, you can invite one or two other persons, but then, like I said, it's very, very important that we qualify first before we start experimenting. Again, I'll ask a very big question. Where are we playing this game against the Beninois?
Libya, Ivory Coast.
Why are we not playing in Benin? Is Benin as troubled as Libya?
No.
So why are we not playing the game against Libya in
so why did they allow Nigeria go to Libya at all?
These are the questions. These are the things I was saying about.
Who should be playing on this? This CAF work.
Obviously, it's CAF.
Yeah.
Because you understand how troubled the country is.
And you still send people go there.
You still decide that we have to go there to play. These are the questions.
Okay. Let's go to talk about Ademola Lookman. Let me ask you this question. If Ademola Lookman does not win the CAF award, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a very big slap on CAF. But of course, it's not going to be the first time. We've seen it before. It's happening. In fact, I cannot just get off the 2001 incident off my head. I can't just imagine or
about that.
There's no good reason how Elijah Diop won that award. There's no good reason for him winning that award. I mean, everything pointed to the fact that Osei Kufo had done everything he needed to do. He won it all in Europe. Why? And of course, it's not even the Nations Cup year.
Yeah.
So how come did El Hadi Diop win the award? Sorry, yes, El Hadi Diop
win ahead of Kufo.
Win the award ahead of him.
Okay.
So if that can happen, and Jesus can turn water to wine, then of course.
Okay, so just in case you missed out that very game, let's just let you know that Ademola Lookman is so much on fire. He's so consistent. He's just like the next big thing. I don't know. I've not seen Ademola Lookman better in this kind of a form. He's just like yesterday. He literally took the team. The boys from Bergamo went away from home, got it right against the manager. Ike felt like yes, Conte is the man for the job. But 2-0 from 2 goals from him, and then they finally made it 3. And then just begin to question people saying, why would Ademola Lookman not win the CAF player of the year? And then, like you said on TV, if he continues this way, he could be nominated again.
Of course.
Do you advise he leaves after the season?
Yes, I think it's time for him to leave. It's very good to leave when the ovation is highest. And of course, Ademola Lookman has proven to be, a consistent player.
Right.
The big stage is made for consistent players. He has to leave. He has to go now. Before what happened to Osimhen. When Osimhen did what he did, the whole Africa was screaming, leave Napoli now.
Right. And
leave Napoli now, So he kept on staying. He felt like this is my home. I love these people. I want to give, my best to them. But of course, we know the end of the story.
They don't even care about you. Okay, let's leave that one again. Okay, let's talk about the game played yesterday. Chelsea away from home. Moise Caicedo, the most expensive British player so far, coming to the rescue for Enzo Maresca and his boys. And I'm liking the setup from Chelsea. I'm liking the fact that Maresca had to put up a side that knows that, yes, we need to put it right in this part. But for Van Nistelrooy, who is still interim, Amorim coming in days to come. Like you said, I like to hold you on the word you said on TV. Some of these players are literally playing to see that they get themselves into their Amorim style when he returns. Players like Lindelof who's not going to start the game. Ohate also, they know the manager very well. But yesterday, generally, that very game, Bruno scored a goal, penalty, not lifting this time around. Then Moise Caicedo equalized for Chelsea and it ended in 11th. Like, that was the highest draw so far. I'll talk about the record. But for that game yesterday, what's your take?
See, it is very dangerous to play against a team on placebo. Again, I use the word placebo for interim. When the manager leaves and another one comes in, there's this spark of energy that they get. Right? It's going to take a very, very strong team above their level to actually still beat them.
Right.
Chelsea is not far off from Manchester United in terms of level because the coach, talking about Maresca, is trying to build the team. And we see that he's been consistent with the structure he's building at Chelsea at the moment. And United, coming from a very bad place, there's a new manager, there's a new sheriff in town. He wants to prove himself that he's actually good for the job. These guys want to be in his good book, so they have to give it all.
Yeah.
If you watch that game closely, you will know that United, the quality, there's a disparity in quality. Chelsea were far better, but United just came all out, angry, wants to at least get something from that game.
Can you say Chelsea were far better?
Yeah, they were far better. See, Chelsea were far better in terms of structure. United lacks structure.
I love the word structure because I know Chelsea struggled to play.
Yes,
and the game is literally built around Cole Palmer, and he wasn't on his A game Noni Madueke was off. So Cole Palmer was not playing well. And Chelsea were also struggling. So Moise Caicedo well-deserved award. Man of the match. But quickly, let's run it. Let's go to the next phase. I'll bring you the Derby Espanyol 3-1, losing away from home. We know the La Masia King, Danny Olmo with the goals, and then Rafinha. These guys are classic. We saw Espanyol goals, 2 goals wiped away by the marginal offside calls, and then what more? Let's talk about Man United Chelsea in the Premier League all time. 19 wins for United, 19 wins for Chelsea, 27 draws. It's the most drawn fixture in the Premier League history. And I mean, can you get a bell if you can, please? The bell is just somewhere close. We need to ring a bell for those who predicted right for Saturday. On the show we had, what's the name? You recall the names? We had Monday saying Barcelona 3-1. He got it right. You could ring a bell for that one when you're seated. And then I had Vincent and Zacchaeus. So Zacchaeus from Ladikwa was the man who got it right. He said Chelsea won, Man United won, Man U won, Chelsea won. So it ended down. Wait, that's enough, Ike. You're too much. You too like Bill. Now let's give you more update the way the Premier League looks right now. Liverpool on top of the log. Man City, Nottingham Forest number 3. Chelsea, Arsenal, Aston Villa. I don't want to be held accountable for this, but Ike, I see Chelsea making top 4, but I don't know who makes the 3-4. I don't even know who is. I don't know who would win this one. But can we say Arne Slot is taking the bull by the horns?
You know, I said something after that game on Saturday.
Right.
I said that the league starts after day 10. And now we've seen the day 10, right?
Yeah.
So this is official starting of the league. So Liverpool is yet to suffer major injuries, right? So let's wait until they suffer major injury and how they will fare. When they suffer major injury and still cope and still compete and still remain at the top 4, then we can say, okay.
Is this to say that they've not faced challenges ahead of time? Because
they've not suffered
Arsenal
major injuries.
struggle. Martin Odegaard is a very big miss.
That's what I'm saying. That's a major injury.
Now, Rodrigo, Kevin De Bruyne out.
That's a major injury.
But Ike, don't say you don't want to give credit to.
No, I'm not saying I'm not giving.
And the Slot has done so well. He's a new manager in a new league. Give him some.
Where did Liverpool finish last season?
They didn't do bad.
They finished 3rd.
Right.
So it shows that they before he came, they're a strong team.
But Ike, as at this time last season, where were they? What are you saying?
That's what I'm saying. Forget about that. That's why I said Match Day 10, the league starts officially.
I don't like the part where you're saying they've not faced.
They've not.
Trials.
Okay, wait.
I know it will come.
Okay, wait. They've not suffered a Van Dijk injury.
Why did they go suffer?
They've not suffered a Mo
Salah
Salah
point
injury.
is not good. Please no more Salah injury to Liverpool. Let them just keep
I'm just
going.
saying.
I know. You cannot not think about that one, please. Not a Liverpool fan, but just give them that credit for being up there. But quickly, let's talk about it. NPFL. If you're a Nigerian football fan, why would you not even be? Okay, our league is not so out there. One of the days we'll have to hit the straight. If it's going to require giving out money on the roadside and asking people questions. And I recall one of the times I was at the island and I was having a haircut, and I keep saying all the time on the radio, someone came to have a haircut with me. I knew he was a Sporting Lagos player at that point. I knew him. Because I know this job. That's one. One time again, I had a Remo Star players coming to Lagos. He bought it, whatever. And then he got himself in a crowded place.
Yeah.
And nobody noticed this guy. It's your Walcott cannot have his haircut somewhere close in Nigeria here. You know the story. Our players are not even that so big.
That's the branding.
That's the branding. We don't even have it. So one of the days we just have to go. Someone just tell me, Rebel Star, just score 3 players.
Even if I want to see the game, say flights, we know them my house.
Oh, okay. You take it back to what? You want to put the blame on the government?
The government has a part to play. Trust me.
A big one.
Yeah, a huge part to play. A huge part to play. Now let's even go a little step back to how the English Premier League. In the 90s, the English Premier League was not even the most fancy league in Europe. It's not. The Italian league, the Spanish La Liga were above the English Premier League in terms of branding.
Yeah.
Now it was in the 1990 where Sean Dyche, who was the then manager of London Weekend Television, sat with top clubs in England. Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea. He sat with them and told them, you know what? I'm going to give official coverage of this league.
Right.
For your information, that's London Weekend Television. Is the Sky Sports today.
Right.
So again, London Weekend Television, it tells you that this is a government-owned station, right? So the government is playing a huge part. This is exactly the same thing we should do. There's no... You see, if the government wants to support, the government should support in such a way that, it's going to influence investors to come in. Not in a way that before you sign player, one governor must write paper for something.
Okay, so
you know this thing now.
Okay, I'll pretend like I don't know what you're talking about. All right, let's talk more about this very one. Remo Stars on top of the log, Rivers United and the MPFL, Aimba, El Canem, Warriors, Rangers, Plateau United, Niger Tornadoes, Canopilas, Abia Warriors, Sunshine Stars, and the rest for me is history. People are saying Remo Stars on top of the log. Say that like Arsenal of the Premier League. Say once they don't do up, sometimes they will come down. Daniel Oguma didn't understand.
Well, the Nigerian Professional League is not very, very predictable. Yes, we know that there are obvious big guns like Aimba, Rivers United, and all on the likes. You know, people who we've seen over time that okay, these ones can actually do it. But of course, few seasons ago we saw Mighty Jets. You know, this Plateau United and all of that. We can actually see that in Remo Stars this season. It's very possible. But let's just wait. And I think one thing I need to really say here is the fact that we've started seeing a lot of away wins in the Nigerian Professional Football League.
So that's growth?
That's growth. So if Remo Stars can actually keep up at this level, at this pace, who knows? They can actually, they might not win it, but they might just end up, you know, in the continent.
Okay, so still talking about the Nigerian Premier Football League, since taking over the helm of Ikorodu City Football Club, Nuruddin Awero has led the side to 10 points from possible 15. Good job. Prior to that, the Lagos-based side had just 1 point from their opening 5 fixtures. And then Ademola Lookman, Ike, reason why he cannot be taken up in the African Best Award. As I talk to you now, Man of the Match award is like a water for him now. Against Napoli, he got it. Against Verona, he got it. Against Shakhtar Donetsk, he got it. Against Fiorentina, he also got that one for himself. And Paul Kubasi, the young man, has come to say, usually when VAR review our opponent goals, we already know it's offside. Barca. And that's a talk from that man, Paul Kubasi. Now let's talk about the Spanish La Liga as well. And Simeone and his son, as of 2004, I showed you the picture. I was carrying him like a baby, as a baby was then. But 2024, Guillermo made it for his father, won the MVP, got a start against ahead of Lorente, and then Simeone. What is it that Simeone is doing with the Argentines in Europe? Acuna played under him. We know his story. Molina, Angel Correa, you know, Julian Alvarez, Rodrigo de Paul. A lot of these guys, you know, and they really feel cool playing under the Argentine. What is it that Chilo has brought?
Well, first of all, we have to really look at Argentina, how they actually play, and how Atletico Madrid actually play. It's more of technicality, grit, you know, strength. Let's get the game done, no matter how it is. Let's just find a way to, you know, actually close it. In South America, Brazil seems to be the only people who play yoga bonito. Right. The rest of them just want to get the result, however it comes with technicality. That's how they play. So Argentina is not one of those teams that play really fancy football. They might have individual talents coming once in a while, you know, in that team. Players like Lionel Messi, Pablo Aimar, Riquelme, and the like. But the bulk of their team is built on grit and technicality. Again, right, it goes back to Atletico Madrid. If you look at the way Diego Simeone has managed to structure Atletico Madrid over the years, you notice that it is still very much the same pattern. It's grit, technicality, and they just find a way to grind it.
I'm liking what he has brought to the team, stability, and then you take it back to the Argentines. I'm liking to talk about those guys. And when you see the son Guillermo celebration, even though he and Koke did the Forza animates and dedicating the goal to Valencia people, victim of that heavy flood in the city where more than 100 lives,
about 200
lives lost in that very struggle. And then we still sympathize with the people of Valencia. It's actually a small place, and then they're going through a lot of contributions out there. I think massive clubs are really donating money. But then Argentine football, and I take it back when they have the likes of that Simeone as well, Batistuta Ayala, you know, all of those guys, you know, Coloccini as well. When we watch these guys play, Simeone has not changed his style of play. What has he added to this team?
I think over the years,
because his son also is that defensive.
Over the years, if you look at Diego Simeone, how he has managed to move his team, they are less energetic in the way they approach their game now. They are not as gritty as they were before. They are not as dogged as they were before. I think he now is trying to transcend into, you know, more of let's take it cool and you know, let's play.
Well, it's just the way the game goes.
Let's be flexible. But again, you still give it to them as the most dogged side in La Liga. You know, they are the most dogged side in La Liga. Again, this is not even the first time we are seeing a father and son, you know, transformation. We saw that with Ido Go Johnson.
You know, some places.
Yes, of course. So this is actually not the first time, and it's so good to see because it shows that there's actually a football DNA being passed, and that's why I feel sad for likes of Pele and Maradona, because we would have loved to see what their kids would be like. Another problem with this sort of thing is that if your father is such a global star, it really brings a lot of responsibility. You are the son, you have to be like your father, and that's is going to be very, very difficult.
That's like a milestone. So let's tell you more. Now, it's breaking. Please listen to this very well. You already know that this one is scary for Arsenal fans, and not just Arsenal fans, also scary for Mikel Arteta. It's breaking. Arsenal sporting director Edu is set to leave the club. And then the news will arrive as a blow to Mikel Arteta, according to reports. And then let's bring you another one. Messi, after first 50 games with Barca, 21 goals, 4 assists. Lamine Yamal, after first 50 games with Barca, 10 goals, 14 assists. No disrespect to any of this guy. Now, okay, let's leave for the match. The Champions League is back. I'll tell you more for tomorrow. Because of time, we need to run. Emmanuel Petit said, honestly, Arsenal should gamble on signing Paul Pogba. He will give everything on the pitch. It will take him a few weeks to get full of faith, but he will be so eager. There is a motivation that is priceless to a manager like Mikel Arteta. Pogba fits the Arsenal midfield perfectly. He is tall, strong, and very creative. We all know how good and happy Pogba is. He needs that love to come back to the game. I don't even know. Arsenal going for Pogba. It will not be so costly though. He wanted to stay in Juve, but Juve is saying we can't. I'm so sorry, we can't do with you. And MLS looks a bit closest. But Arsenal,
I think that's a very good gamble. It's
right?
a very good gamble.
Yeah, so that's a word like good gamble.
Yes. Pogba is
the world class.
It's a world class player. It's got the quality. Say for whatever it is, I don't think there's any Arsenal player that is bigger than Pogba.
At this point.
Yes, at this point, in terms of his experience and how much. In fact, his influence on the game. He's got a huge influence on the game.
Right.
Like like he rightly said, Pogba's got strength. Is technical. He's got good range of pass.
Yeah.
See, there's only one person in the Arsenal midfield that can say, okay, creative wise, it can be close. Martin Odegaard.
Right.
Apart from Martin Odegaard, there's no other person that can come close to Pogba head to head. However you want to look at it, he's a good ball winner. He's a good ball passer. He knows how to strike the ball. He's a good ball carrier. He's got everything in midfield, and I think it's going to be a good gamble, considering the fact that Jorginho, who is supposed to be a backup for the midfielders, is really not giving Arteta what he wants whenever he comes in. So for someone like Pogba stepping into that dressing room is going to actually inspire those on the field to actually do more, because they know that this guy.
You know what you sound so much like you can't wait to see Pogba play for Arsenal.
I really like him.
So let's quickly bring you this one again. Barcelona have already scored 40 goals in La Liga this season. Now you didn't tell me about Edu. Just in case Edu leaves.
Okay. So Edu is just like Tiki Bergeristen. The man who brought Pep Guardiola. And of course, you know that it took Tiki Bergeristen and Pep Guardiola to actually restructure Man City from a team that can win the league to a team that can dominate not just England, but Europe.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a good synergy between the sporting director and the coach, there's always growth in the team. So if Edu leaves, it's just like a family where Papa no day or Mama no day.
People are scared that Arteta might be sacked just in case it doesn't do well. Edu has played a key role for Arteta.
Well, I'm not going to say people whether Arteta might be sacked is the problem here. It is that when you have a sporting director that's got your back, you can easily walk up to him and say, you know what, I want this thing.
Yeah, easily.
And he knows how to go about the board and say, this is what we think we should do for him to actually get the result that we actually set for him. So if the sporting director is not someone you can actually, walk up to, it's going to really be, a problem.
Okay, so let's talk about Son Heung-min. Tottenham are set to trigger an extension in Son Heung-min's contract. This means that the 2-year-old would be at the club, for more than 10 years plus.
It's such an inspiration. I think he's the last, you want to call him the last airbender. I use the word last airbender because before him it was Hurricane. And now as Hurricane left, he's the only person that is carrying the mask of that Tottenham team that got to the final. That we can remember, this Tottenham team, the rest of them are actually either not as good as they were before, or they've left the club, or they are now playing from the bench or something else. So he's like the last inspiration that they have in that team. If he leaves.
Okay, so Victor Gyökeres does not plan to follow sporting manager Ruben Amorim to Manchester United, and Chelsea and PSG are interested in Vinicius Junior And Real Madrid official will meet his representative in a few weeks to discuss the future. Vinicius is said to have rejected new offers of Real Madrid. I don't know, according to reports. Now, Edu, who is leaving Arsenal, has agreed to join Nottingham Forest.
Interesting.
Deal not signed just yet. Role still to be fully finalized.
It's actually not surprising, but it's interesting.
This is like a money move.
Yes. I mean, we've seen this sort of things. Dan Ashworth left. He joined Manchester United. Omar Bermuda left Manchester City. He moved to is it Newcastle?
Who's that?
Omar Bermuda, to become CEO.
Okay, I was in Newcastle. I can't recall if it was in Newcastle.
So,
but we've seen those moves.
Yeah, so those moves are there. It's actually not surprising.
I think it's Newcastle. It's in Newcastle. Yeah, I think so.
So it's actually not surprising. People can actually there's something going on in the football world. They've come to realize that the players are not the only important part of the whole setup. If you have a good sporting program, if you have a good sporting project, if you have someone who can actually see beyond what goes on the pitch, that can actually translate that into success on the pitch, why not poach that man and then he's going to turn your club around? So this is exactly what most of them have seen, and that's why they're actually going for these men. So it's a very good one for him. And of course, leaving Arsenal for Tottenham is going to increase money now, my brother.
All right, you want to be part of the show? It's time now. Apologies, we're really going into your time. It will just be like 5 minutes to go on the show. Apologies, but then sometimes it works like this. You want to be? Let's do it now. 0700 903 903 903. Maybe just 5 minutes. Let's say 30 seconds would not be wrong. 0700 903 903 903. For everything we've talked about, please be part. Let's get your take. Good evening. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Yes, welcome. Talk to us quickly.
For me, Arsenal, I'm happy as they lose. They cannot win this league. That is reality.
They cannot win the league.
Their mentality is not winning mentality to go 38 league marathon. That is it for me. Thank you very much. I know it was a strong you're doing.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Let's quickly say this to our very man, Papa Tunde is +1 today. Papa Tunde, all the way from Papa. Have a birthday to you. Pray God gives you everything you want. Your heart desires will come to pass. Hello, good evening. Hello, welcome to the show. Talk to me. Oh, do well to reconnect if you can. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Great to have you on the show. Joining us. Welcome.
This is Sunday from Itachi.
Okay, you're in.
I don't know what Libya is thinking. Maybe Libya is thinking they are more rugged than Nigeria. They don't know that it's just because of the problem the government is giving us. That's why Nigeria is so tough. That Libya can be even Libya can carry shoulder against Nigeria. That's what that. And for Barcelona, I don't know how long this our highline is going to stay us. I'm a Barcelona fan. I don't know how long this our highline is going to, because we have been playing, and they have been having offside.
Yeah.
One day all those offside that Barcelona is kicking at my house, Barcelona. I don't know how long this highlight is going to. And for Arsenal, that is how it's going to be.
That is how it's going to be.
Yes, that's how it's going to be. Now, even Man City, more is coming for them. The problem is that this league is for Liverpool. If Liverpool lose this league, that is Anslot don't know what is doing.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. All right.
So, Kizzy, let me quickly say that man Omar Berada is actually not Newcastle. It's actually Manchester United.
Okay.
He left Manchester City for Manchester United.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Thank you so much for that correct one. Quickly, let's go back. Hello. Do you know he almost went to Newcastle?
Yes.
Hello.
Of course.
Come in.
Good evening, Kizzy.
Yeah. Good evening. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
My name is Kingsley. I'm friends for Igondo.
Kingsley from Igondo. You're welcome. Talk to us. Are you here? Oh, did he go? He left me. Hello, good evening. Hello, welcome to the show. Oh, this one is not really connecting well. We're running out of time. Just trying to place you on the show because we need to go. Our time is far gone. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Kizzy.
Yes, my man. Welcome.
Kingsley for Igondo.
All right, Kingsley, talk to me.
Hey, I want to talk about that chase yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
They really do waiting. They do waiting I like that yesterday.
It's with you.
But, yeah, the thing what they do, they surprised me yesterday. I don't even think they should go do that kind of thing yesterday.
Are you all right? I'll take that from you. Thank you so much, my man. All right, say. Chelsea fans surprised about the scoreline. Okay, were you also surprised about that one?
Not really. I was actually expecting. Okay, the only surprise I would say I had about that game was the fact that it was really not a high-scoring game, because I was saying it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I was expecting it to be a draw, perhaps 2-2 draw.
Okay. All right, welcome. Good evening.
Good evening. This is Zacchaeus from Ladipo.
Zacchaeus, you gonna ring a bell for that man, Ike? Ring a bell for that man. Congratulations to you. You are a winner on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. But I want to confirm something.
Okay.
This one that I'm not on WhatsApp, but I'm using small phone. I don't know how it is.
Don't worry. I'll connect with you. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, man. Thank you so much. All right, my man. AK. That guy said 1-1 and he got it right. How did he say it?
The guy they play short better.
All right, so we are getting close to the part that we need to leave the show now. Let me see if I can actually get a reach of those messages, but let's see. All right, welcome to the show. Good evening.
Hey, good evening, TV.
Yeah, my man. Yeah, what's your name?
This is Henry, calling from the lovely city of Omahia.
Henry, you're in. Welcome to the show.
Hey, TV, how are you guys doing?
We all right, very well. Thank you so much for being part of the show.
Yeah, I want to comment on Edu. I feel like Arsenal will miss him when he's gone.
You feel like what?
I feel Arsenal will miss Edu when he's gone, because he has been a huge part of this year current team that they are building right now.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah, and basically that's what I wanted to call about.
Okay, all right. I'll take that from you, my man. Safe. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Feels so nice. Are we just running close? I'm feeling like I don't need to go, but you know we have to run. We have the world news coming up next, and that's for 6. Right here on the best diet to be at all time. How do you feel, DK? Let's go on this one. Hello, welcome to the show.
Easy K.
Good evening, welcome.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Manuel.
Manuel, all right, talk to me.
Maybe I'm really disappointed. Maybe because I placed Chelsea, so I was disappointed in that performance yesterday.
How do you mean? What were you wanting?
Them to win. Like, I already placed Chelsea. Like, for my mind, I feel say this Chelsea team is getting tired up, becoming big. Well, that yesterday just clear my. You
wanted to win. You wanted Chelsea to win, just like that.
United was there for the taking. Like, United was just there. You didn't take them. So, Arsenal won't go beat. You know, beat United. Now, Arsenal won't go beat.
All right, let me let you. All right, let's talk tomorrow, okay? Our time is up. Thank you so much. I need to go. Let me see. Greetings to you, KZK and EK. This is Sam speaker from Ikorodu. Libya want to start what they can't handle. Yes, my man, KZK. I told you Arsenal, Liverpool 2-2 from Marcy Douglas for Sun. EK, let's get your last word on the show before we run now.
Well, I just hope that the federal government really do something to save the life of our citizens. And of course, CAF also, bring more stringent punishment to Libya.
Yeah.
I was expecting a 2-year ban, so I hope they increase it to 4 years.
Just maybe that's occur. Thank you so much, EK. We'll do this again tomorrow, hopefully. All right, I need to go now. Apologies that the phone lines were open very, very late. Apologies, I sincerely beg you. I'm sorry. For those who won on the show, don't worry, I got you on this. We'll definitely get to reach out to you which way, anyway. I'll remain the voice of the mic. Thank you so much. Have yourself a very good night. Without go, there is no KZK. There's nothing wrong when you start small, but there's everything wrong when you start over less. Keep dreaming big. Work hard to make it a reality. My name is KZK. It doesn't sound like the right one, right? But I need to go because Esther wants to quit already close. I'm on.